industries, they want it all.
Okay. All right. So now we start. So just going to start with a
Does it
little.
matter which way my head is turned?
Yes.
Towards you?
Yes, towards me.
Okay.
And the reason Laura's head is turned towards me in this prone position is when I compress over here, it gives me a little space. So if I'm compressing on the side of the head, the gallbladder. Okay. So we're going to start, and how we start is just to start to generally loosen the back. And if you remember, on the back primarily it's the bladder meridian. So the bladder meridian runs in these two parallel lines on either side of the spine and through the sacrum, the glutes, hamstring, gastroc, and out. So in this first segment, we're going to deal with from the top of the shoulder to the sacrum.
It pretty much is it in the back, isn't it?
Hmm?
Bladder?
Sorry?
That pretty much is it. The only one on the back.
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
mean, they kind of they eke over, but there's not really any going.
Pretty much what we just said.
Mm-hmm.
That the bladder is the predominant meridian on the back.
Yeah.
That's about all there is.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's, the gallbladder comes up in here
It's
a
closed,
little bit,
right?
like over in here too,
And just
through here.
little
You're reading
small
that book.
intestine.
Okay, so this is how I'm going to start. Just nice position, and I'm going to reach over the spine. And I'm using the heels of my hands right just lateral of the spine. And I'm going to have the person inhale and exhale, and I'm going to keep my arms straight, and I'm letting my weight shift forward. So you notice I'm rocking on my knees and my feet are coming off the ground. Arms are extended and my spine is relatively straight. So I can let my body weight come in. And the compression is down mostly, but also away from the spine, because you're trying to create some space around the spine. Sorry.
The nose,
So
nose.
inhale, please, and exhale. And as you're compressing, try to have even pressure on both hands. And I compress on the exhale and follow that exhale into the body, just like we were doing with the horror diagnosis. And my hand is coming up and including compression on to the sacrum, and I'm going to bring that hand back up and do it again. Because the musculature is so heavy here and it's so young that you want to do a little bit of things to help sedate it a little bit, to relax it a little bit. Pressure's okay? So I did 2 passes here, and then what I'm going to do is come back, and basically I'm going to feel for the spine and then come just on the other side of it, and I'm just going to do a little cross fiber here right in the laminar groove, because you always pick up a lot of fibers there. So either one hand or braced finger. Is that too much? Because you feel there's all sorts of stuff.
What are you doing?
Like here.
Oh.
So the fibers are running this way, so I'm going cross fiber.
Yeah. Just kind of using your middle finger.
In Thai massage, they call this japsen, which is sort of just like plucking, same thing. It's got a cooler name though, crossfire, japsen. So you're taking it down, and I'm going to take it onto and include the sacrum. Cool. So now we want to incorporate a little mobilization of the shoulder girdle. So I'm just going to step over like this. So one knee, one foot, and I'm going to bring the arm back, resting on my foot. And my outside hand is going to cup the shoulder. So when I cup the shoulder, my fingers are flat, so I'm not turning my fingers and gouging into the front of the pec major. So I'm just cupping, and just relax your shoulder. And with a straight arm, I just lean back for the mobilization. So that starts to loosen up the shoulder. And then I'm going to add a little stimulation with my thumb or the tips of my fingers right up against the vertebral border of the scapula. It helps with the attachment of the rhomboids, but also This is where the outer bladder meridian is, right up against the vertebral border of the scapula. Okay? And I take that down to the inferior angle. And I'm not lifting, but I'm keeping my arm straight, so it's my body weight shifting back that does the business. So after working the vertebral border of the scapula, I'm going to change hands. And then I'm going to start compressing right below the inferior angle of the scapula, just lateral of the spine. But this is a compressive twist. So as I lean back, I'm going to turn to do a compressive twist. And it's not force, it's just making contact and turning. And I'm going to take that down onto and include the sacrum. It's okay?
Mm-hmm. Which hand do you have on the shoulder? Really crisscrossed?
No, they're
No.
not crisscrossed.
Okay.
They're where I had this right hand doing this. I
Okay.
switched the left hand, and this one's down here. So crisscrossing is not a good approach to doing body work. It's just damn awkward. Okay, so that's that. Now we're going to put the arm up and come across like this. So now I'm here, right? So now, again, I want to continually work on the inner and outer bladder meridian. So that means in the lamina groove and as much on the lateral border of longissimus as I can. So here's spinous process. And I'm going to come just lateral. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this portion of my arm. So I can sink in and then just turn my hand so it moves the musculature away. So like you sink, I'm sinking in, and then rather than turning so much, I'm just shifting my weight that away a little bit. And that really helps open up that space. So you want to sink in and then shift your weight over. So you notice my position, I have nice contact. Boop, bam. and again, I'm just lateral of the spine, sinking into the lamina groove, and then I'm shifting my weight so that it like scoops the muscle away. It's a really nice, effective way for engaging inner bladder meridian, also loosening up the back. And I take it down until I come right onto the to the sacrum, or the iliac crest, probably is more appropriate. So nice and easy, just sinking in, shifting weight. Easy too for therapists, but the person receiving, pretty dynamic.
This is awesome.
So that's the inner, and I want to do the outer. So I'm going to turn like this. And you should be able to palpate, here's longissimus, and you should feel the lateral. May I do this? You don't have any obscene ink on your back, can you? You never know.
These pants come way up so high. I don't know if you need
Well, you just help our distribution of the video. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I told you I'm looking.
So here's spine. This most pronounced of the erectors is longissimus. So where I'm coming is the lateral border of longissimus, and that's where the outer bladder meridian is. You know, the longissimus is rather tubular, and when it comes down and interfaces with the rib, that's where it gets stuck the most fascially, but also that's where the outer bladder meridian is. So both of these passes helps loosen the back, but also it addresses the bladder meridian. So I'm going to start at the top, and usually the way I do it is I just use the braced thumb and just sink right into the lateral border. And it's the lateral border where it meets the ribs, so you're just angling down a little bit. And again, it's through an extended arm, and it's my body weight doing it. That's okay. I think she actually likes that. I can tell. Just nice and easy. And I'm going to inhale, and I move my thumb down, and then exhale, sink in. So you have a nice rhythm, right? You want your breath is a natural rhythm, so you want to bring that into your work. Now I'm just below the 12th rib, and I'm going into longissimus, but also you start to affect quadratus in here, multifidus a little bit. Right?
Mhm.
And then you'd repeat the same thing on the other side. So I'm just going to do that a little bit. Now, one thing that I forgot to mention is when you're reaching over and doing the initial compressions on the back, it's good to keep the arm back like this, because when you're like this, receiving pressure in the back, if they're tight in their chest, there's going to be a little space here where it's not making contact with the mat, and it can put a little strain on the shoulder joint. But if you turn the arm this way, it flattens the joint right onto the mat, so it receives the pressure a little better. So this is a good way of receiving. And then if you could turn your head the other way, please. But not only does it give me more space, but also it's hard for a person to keep their neck probably in one position for so long. So take a nice inhale, please, and exhale. I'll just do this a little quicker than I normally would, just so you can see it again. And then we'll do the exchange. Hey, Jen. Bam.
He's really getting
So
in
here,
there.
hi, Jill.
Oh my goodness.
Friendly dog, yeah. And cross fiber. I hope you find guys as nice as Jen.
Me too. He's like, I want to play.
Just leaning back, body weight, right? Not muscling. If you start bending your arm, yeah, you're muscling, and it's a lot harder than this. What's the matter with you? Get to here. Go on. Go on with your bad furry self. Just wants to be on video, I think, Kim.
I've been left over.
Oh, here comes Joe. Oh.
Nice and easy, right? So my arm is parallel to the spine, just lateral, so it can sink straight down to engage the tissue. And then when you rotate your weight this way, your palm should just naturally turn up a little bit.
Okay.
And that's what's scooping the,
So you're not turning it, it's just happening.
yeah, so I'm engaging the tissue, and I'm going like this.
Is that your palm?
No,
Your
that's my
elbow.
elbow.
Oh, I was going to say. Forearm.
So you're just laying it.
Right,
And
that's
it
all.
just- okay.
And then I'm going to come and do the lateral border of longissimus for the outer bladder meridian.
Rah. He says, don't get hurt, my friend.
Braced thumb takes a lot of the tension off the hand. Just trying to find a space where I feel like my shoulders are relaxed and my arms are extended.
He's a little, his nap's over and I'm ready for action.
He's got some built up energy he needs to dispel, I guess. here.
You can feel that storm.
Oh, maybe two.
That's
Yeah.
maybe why he's getting
Maybe
Yeah,
two.
kind of stimulated.
the way he's breathing.
All right, so we'll do that much, yeah?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.